Hello friends, it is Ann with Whimsically Knotted. I hope you can see me because I cannot tell. Gotta find myself on my iPad just real quick, so give me just a second. My iPad trying to connect. While we're chatting, I am going to be working on this 12 by 12 panel board from the Dollar Tree. This one I think was $3, but I've had it for a while, so I don't really know how much it really is. I don't know if it is still $3 or not. I cannot pull us up on my iPad. Oh, there we go. There we go. I've got my phone backwards again, and it is so hard to see, but we have lots of words today, so I want you to be able to read them, but it doesn't make things easy. Trying to see. I hope I've got it. All right, let me see if I can get this to where I will be able to see my iPad better and you'll be able to see. I moved the camera over a little bit so that I can see my iPad a little bit better. See my mess back there. I don't like that. But you'll be seeing the surface here in a minute anyway, so hopefully. Is that good enough for you ladies? Can you guys see that? I don't like this. I just don't like it. We will be using the stencil of the month, Club Stencil for June, which is lake themed. We'll be using that one. And we will be using part of the Beach Bums welcome sign from the summer bundle, which hopefully most of you've already received, and the stencil of the month as well. And the stencil of the month for July is Christmas themed, so that will be fun. They've got some really neat short phrases on there that are good for directional signs, that are good for I'm going to sand this real quick. This is a little, the grain is just raised a little bit, so I'm just going to sand over it real quick. And you know, I always do double-sided, so I will put something on the inside. Not sure what yet, but something will go in there. Paint booger out, and I am just going to base coat everything in this light color. If my paint comes out, I have the hardest time getting paint out of these. There we go. I think that might have done it. And you will hear the dogs barking. My husband and my daughter are outside, so they will voice their opinion. We are going to be creating a sunset theme. I am just going to use one of these big brushes. To base coat this real quick, and this is Ethereal Mist from Country Chic. I just want a quick coat so I have a base color down to build all of our other colors on top. I could have used stains, but I didn't have enough colors in the stains and what I wanted to do, so that's why I'm using Deco Art paints. And I gotta keep hitting my iPad so I can see you guys. For those of you that don't know who I am, my name is Ann. My business is Whimsically Knotted. I create a lot of faith-based signs, tier tray items, porch leaners, door hangers. I do others too, but mainly it is faith-based. I am just adding a little bit of water to thin my paint out and make it go a little further. Plus, it helps it spread easier. I am not doing the sides because I honestly don't know yet what color I want to do the sides. I mean, there is a little bit of paint that might have gotten on there, but I can cover that up when that time comes. I'm going to need to get a little bit more for the bottom. Like I said, this is just our base coat so that we can work off of this. And I will use a sponge to put the bottom colors on. I'm going to divide this out in 3 parts. We will have a bottom, a middle, and a top. Top will be sky, bottom will be ground, and the middle will be like water. All right, that is good enough for right now. I'm going to get me a Clorox wipe to put my brush in to keep it moist, so then when I need to add other colors and I want to use this brush again, I can. I am going to dry this, even though I'm going to have to wet it again to put other colors on. Well, I guess I could, because it raised the grain of this board a lot. Again, the bottom is going to be land, water, and then sky. So let's start with the bottom. I am going to do the bottom in, well, that's not, no, there it is. The bottom I'm going to do in raw umber. And my plate is very colorful. I forgot to bring plates up. And I am going to use a little sponge. I just wet my sponge. It is easier to have a moist sponge, I find. It is not necessary, but I find it easier to apply the paint. Get the paper towel out. And I'm just going to take some of this brown and I'm just going to dab it on. This is our foreground. This is our land/beach area. And we will build this color up and then see what texture that gives it. And it gives it also a little variance in color. come up with it just a little bit more. I'm looking, I had marks on here where I needed things to be. I am going to dry this a little bit and then I'm going to apply a little bit more color. I am going to add a little bit of salted caramel and I'm using All Deco Art paint. And we will not need much of that. And I am going to leave the sponge just the way it is. I am mixing this a little bit in, just to give it a little bit of different color. And like I said, this is our background. Everything else is going to be built up on this. And happy Friday to you. And if you are not in the Stencil of the Month Club, I encourage you to check it out. They have 2 sets, a basic and a premium plan that you can choose from. And it is absolutely amazing. The stencils, they are different than the ones that is on the site. So you have more options. And I'm leaving this for right now the way it is until we add our other colors in. The premium is 12 by 16 stencils. They are this size. You get 3 in a pack every month, shipped to your door. The basic is, I believe, 6 by 8. All right, next is going to be the water part. And you have I am just going to go straight on here. This is slate gray. You have the option to add an add-on with that. I am just going to use the same brush that we've had before. And I am just going to add this in. Right here. We will add some more color to this, so don't worry. And the basic plan, you also have 3 stencils that you will receive. And they are just smaller versions of either the basic or the smaller versions of the my goodness, I can't talk and paint at the same time. The basic are smaller versions of the premium and the add-on. They take elements of both of those and create a the basic plan. And they ship straight to your house. And like I said, they are different than the, and I will go back and fill this back in and make it like we had it before, like jagged. We will add another color to this. I will add a little bit of the blue chiffon. So it is a really good deal. You can skip a month. You can, you don't have to worry about it. It comes to your door immediately every month around the, let's see, I just received mine anywhere between the 15th and the 20th of the month. I am going to turn this back my way. I just want to make sure that I get this looking the way I want to. And again, this is representing water, so I don't want complete coverage on here. And if you've never been in the Stencil of the Month Club, you can get a discount. You can get the basic plan for free. You still have to pay for shipping and sales tax, of course. But you can get the premium at a 50% discount. So what do you guys think? Does that look like water? I'm pretty happy with that for right now. I'm going to dry this as well. Hey, good morning, Sherry. We are creating a seascape, and I am going to add more of this ground in. I am just getting the basic done right now, and then we're gonna make it look pretty. I'm gonna go ahead and add our little, I'm just using a sponge for this. And this is my little shoreline. And I am just using a little bit of brown and some, what was that color? Caramel, salted caramel. I couldn't think of what it was called. I hope this is going to turn out the way I envision it in my mind. And the reason why I'm using a sponge, it gives it texture. And you can really play with it and have parts of it darker than other parts. Like the shoreline here, I am going to make darker. And the reason why I added the yellow in here, or the salted caramel, is I want it to look a little bit like sand, but also because this is a sunset, the sun is reflecting on the sand or the ground, the shoreline. So we want that to be a little bit golden to give it that illusion that the sun is reflecting on it. And right now I am just dabbing in a little bit of that extra brown in here. And then we might come back and add a little bit more of that gold color in. And I hope you guys can see it when I hold it up, because I really don't know sometimes how that camera angle is picking up. And I might add a little bit more color to it later. We are gonna add the sunset in, and I've got 1, 2, 3, about 5 colors to do the sunset with. I've got sun gold, bright orange, tiger lily, tea berry, and I might add a little bit of strawberry in there. I am going to start with the tiger lily. And then we will add our horizon line in here. And I'm going to add a little bit of the bright orange. Tea berry. And I'm going to do that first. I'm going to use a 1-inch brush. I am going to spritz my brush so these colors will blend. And it spritzed my board a little bit too. Because that's what we want when we want to create blended colors. We want the board to be moist. You can either create that by using paint, or you can add water. If your paint is wet, it will move. And you can either layer paint on top of each other, or like we just did, you can moisten it up a little bit. Does that not look like sunset colors? I hope you like this today, and like I said, I hope that this will turn out the way that I have it envisioned in my mind. We will create a light source in the middle. That's where our sun is setting. And I am going this way with the small end of my brush. I'm going to turn it around so I can get this side. Okay, I don't see any other comments. If you are commenting and I do not see it, I do apologize. It is probably because my phone is turned around and I cannot see comments on my phone. And like I said, we will create the horizon line here in just a minute. I will make a black line and go from there. Right now I just want to get all our levels in, and then we will create the horizon line. Because the horizon is always a straight line. And I'll just pick up a little bit of paint right here on my board, and I'll just bring it in. I have to turn it around so I can see. It's looking pretty good already. Now I want more yellow in the middle, so I am going to use the Sunset Gold. We've used bright orange before. That gave us that yellow orangey color. But now I'm going to come in and I am going to add that yellow in. And I'm going to use the same brush. I'm going to pick it up a little bit. You can still see. I want to smooth that out a little bit. I'm just looking to see where I want a little bit more, since I still have some of that yellow on my brush. That's what we have so far. Now I am going to make like a little round sun, and I am going to use, let me use one of these. This is what I call my little crappy brush. Because I want like that outline look of the sun. I know I'm holding my breath. Does not have to be perfect. And since this is water and it will reflect what we have going on the top, we'll just add a little bit to the water, because the water will reflect this color. will take a little bit of this yellow and have that come in. And then I will do the same thing with the other colors. I am going to take a little bit of that bright orange and I will do the same tapping motion, just tapping some in. And I think I am just going to continue to use this brush. To get the reflection on the water. And don't worry, it will work out. I am going to use a dry brush to brush over it. To blend it in here in just a moment. I'm tapping in between that orange color and the tiger lily. And don't forget your edges here, because you want it to go all the way to the edges. And I will take a dry brush and brush over it here in just a moment. And then we're still going to have to create our horizon line. I'm going to tap a little bit into the yellow because we've got yellow right there in the middle. The reason why I'm tapping is because the waves make it look choppy. Let's pick this up. Looks pretty good. I'm just going to take a dry chip brush . Let's blend that in a little bit. Trying to blend that in a little bit more. In order to blend it, we need moisture, so I'm going to spritz it. illusion of the waves, so I don't want to blend it in completely. I think that looks good enough. A little bit more right here. And you can decide where you want to blend it more, just by using the water. I want it a little bit more blended right there. And the edges. And by blending it, it created light lines, and I like that. A little bit more in the middle right here. And then I'm going to add the sun back in because I took a lot of the sun back out. I might not have to. Alright, I am going to dry this real quick. And I didn't even add this color in, but we can if we want to. And you're probably wondering, well, where does the stencil come in at? The stencils are getting ready to come in, and we're doing them all in black. I am going to sand over this, and then I might add a little bit of gold on the bottom to have that reflection. Oh, that's dry. I've got Venetian gold to have a little bit of the reflection on the bottom. And I'm just going to use the same brush that we used, that little brush. I didn't like the way that looked, so I am going to sponge my gold on. Softening it up a little bit, get a little bit more. just for the reflection of the sun. I am going to dip in a little bit of the brown to tone this back down a little bit. Because you know that the sun at the sunset in the evenings will reflect. And then we can add some more of the brown over top. And you know, in painting, there is no mishaps. There's only design changes. I'm just going to add some shimmer to that because I want that too. I am going to add enchanted shimmer. Because we know that water shimmers. This will dry clear. This will not stay white. But it will give it that illusion of shimmer when you turn it and the light reflects on it. And I like that. Don't know if the camera is going to pick it up or not. But you have that little bit of shimmer on there. So it looks like the sun is reflecting on it. I'm going to dry this really good because I'm going to put a piece of tape across and then I'm going to make my horizon line and then we're going to stencil. I might need to darken this up down here. First, I am going to go over it with my stain sponge. Much better. Much better. I use frog tape and blue painter's tape. I use either one. Honestly, I don't even care whether it is straight across or whether it is at an angle. Now we're going to use black to create our horizon line. And I am going to use the same brush, little bitty crud brush. I'm creating the illusion of trees and other things in the background. And since it is evening time, you don't see them very well. That's why they are black. Right there where the tape is, I'm going to make sure that I have a good solid line. And then we can add vegetation, the illusion of things in the distance. I think that looks good. I'm going to go one more time over our horizon line. Now we have a separation of water and sky. And I think I am going to add some of this black down here at the coastline. Because this is evening time, so you don't see details. And it has a similar effect than our our sponge did. I have to hold it up at an angle. I apologize. I cannot see well because the light is reflecting. looks good. I'm gonna fade it out a little bit into this. As we will add some other things too here. I just want to make sure that our shoreline is distinct. And since we mix the colors, it will be okay because it is, it will blend in. Add a little bit more black right here. I'm feathering out my brush. That's why it is good to use an old brush. See how feathered out that brush is? I think I'm happy with that. So this is what we have. I think I am gonna add a little, should I? I think I'm gonna leave it. I think I'm leaving it. Sometimes I can get, hey Cindy, hey Sherry, thank you. Thanks for sprinkling. So this is our lakeside background. Now we can add our stencils. This is from the stencil of the month for June, which most of you, if you are in the club, should have received. And the one coming out for July is winter Christmas themed for Christmas in July. Move this out of the way. Now I gotta make sure I get this on straight. I think that looks good. The surface is from the Dollar Tree. We are going to use black for everything because this is in the evening time. I have a 5/8 inch brush in here. Some of my brushes are in need of being washed. You know what? I am going to use a 3/4 brush because I've got the lake is going to be in big. My favorite is the 5/8 and the half. Don't ever go like that to your paint, to your surface. I prefer the two smaller brushes in the set. They are out of stock at the moment, but put yourself on the wait list so that when they come in, you can get them. And right now, most of everything is on sale for 25% off at Essential Stencil. So go to the website, essentialstencil.com, and check out their summer sale for 25% off. And if you use my code WK21, you'll receive another 10% discount. This is a good time to stock up on some fall and winter that you might have missed, or the lace one, the fleur de lace, and the hat stencils from Melissa Miller back in stock. Make sure you don't have no paint on the back side. And you can make it lake or river. And I know most of you should have received the set. Bring my board down as much as I can. I'm gonna move my paints out of the way. I can get my word lake on here. I think that looks pretty straight. And if you want to join the Stencil of the Month Club, if you have not joined before, you can also receive a discount with my code WK21 if you are a first-time subscriber. And July's Stencil of the Month is Winter Christmas theme based. It is the North Pole. It has several different sayings, like Frosty's Cafe. I cannot even remember all the other things on there. Has little icons that you can use, like a little coffee cup, a little rocking horse, like Santa's Workshop. Oh my goodness, I can't even think of all the different things that are on there. It is very cute. You can use it for so many things. You can create little blocks. You can create scenes. You can create directional signs, like, you know, this way to Santa's Workshop, this way to ice skating. So a lot of versatility in that set. And again, that is only available in the Stencil of the Month Club. But the 25% off on the regular site, that is a great deal. Good way to stock up on some things or get some things that you had missed. Okay, this is what we have so far. Life is better at the lake. I am debating whether I want to put, I don't know if I want to put any more dark on here or not, or leave it. The reason being is we are going to add the 2 chairs down here. And this stencil is from the summer collection, and it has the mark of the round, so you can put that on a round. I've got out some more black. I am using all Deco Arts colors. I'll check comments here in just a second again. I am going to need to get me some blocker boards because I know myself I am going to go swirl too much and swirl right over into the design of something else. You guys know I like to tell stories with my pieces. This piece would be great to add, I know the shoreline doesn't have seashells, but you could add little pieces of driftwood or seashells, different things to it, and make it a memory from a trip. You could even add a little clip to it and post a picture with your family at, you know, with the sunset in the background. A trip picture. There are so many possibilities to make something your own, to give it that personal touch or make a memory piece. And add a personal touch to your piece. Over this. I think that looks good. I am going to add the little grass in here. I think that'll just give it that little bit of extra. And you can always take that grass and add it in other places. We can add a little bit more here or there. And we're not finished yet. I am going to dry this though real quick. Thank you, ladies. I appreciate you. Adding that enchanted shimmer on here for the water made a big difference, and I think I am going to add it on the sun as well to make that sun shimmer. Whoop. didn't think this through very well, but that's okay. I am going to move this down to right here. And everything is going to be in black. On these, I am just going side to side instead of swirling. I normally swirl, but these are better done going from side to side because they got some little small bridges in here. And I don't want to mess that up. And I know how to fix those chairs. I am going to take the metallic black. And add that on the chairs. I'll get my backer board. Block that off. Get a little bit more black on here. Because the metallic black is going to be a little different shade. And that'll work. Put those cattails right there. The same thing with the cattails. They are open at the end. Don't go from this side, come from the top down. My light is playing tricks with me. I'll just have to work them into the background right there, which is perfectly fine. And I'll work that one in. Thank you, ladies. I know I'm going over. I really didn't think it was going to take this long, but I like the attention to detail, so I had to get it just right. I appreciate you still being here. And then I'll get the black, I think it's called Midnight Black, but don't hold me to it, or Mystic Black, I cannot remember, the metallic color out, and go over the chairs to give them a little bit of a different color. Put this to the side for just a second. While I have that black on here. Blend that right in. And that's what we have so far. I am going to add some of these. Dragonflies. Gotta have 3. And this way you can see that you can take elements from a stencil and move them around to make it yours. Oh, that looks good. I do need to do one other thing. Just to make it look like there is more ground. And let me get that other black out. It is called Black Pearl. That's what I'm going to use for the chairs to distinguish them. Let me dry this off first though. Be cool to put a fire pit right there in the middle. The nice thing about these stencils too, you can lay them right back on and paint right over them. And this is a metallic black pearl from Deco Art. I don't know why I just poured out so much. I'm going to use that same brush and see how it looks more of a gray color. With my black on here, it will blend. And it'll give those chairs just a different look. I will look here in just a second to see if that is different enough or we need to add a little bit more. Let me peek. Nope, that is the perfect blend. And the reason why I couldn't come on yesterday, we were canning. We canned 24 jars of tomatoes on Wednesday, quart jars, and 21 jars of green beans yesterday. Okay, let me see if that is enough. I think I am going to add a little bit of this grass in here. It'll do two things. It'll tone down that solid black. And solid black, that gold, it'll break that up a little bit. Got 3 grasses, so that's good. And I was going to add a little bit of that shimmer to our sun to make it I have to get another brush. Because I want that sun to be bright, to shine, to shimmer. And then we are almost done. Of course, if we have the sun up top shimmer, we're going to have to add a little shimmer to the bottom. Should we add a little shimmer to our dragonflies? Thank you, ladies. I think I'm going to add a little bit of shimmer to the wings. Not solid, just a little shimmer. Just a little shimmer so that when the light shines on them, it'll reflect. It's just those little extra details that make your design unique, special. And I will hold that up in just a second so you can see the little shimmer. And I just stayed to the inside. I did not go all the way out. I left that little bit of outline black. I'm a project turner. Do you turn your projects when you're working? I just like turning mine. I think that looks good. What do you guys think? Let me give you a close-up. I'm hoping that I'm holding it right. I'm not sure with this new camera angle. And I don't know if you can see the shimmer on the sun. You can see the shimmer on that, yep, and that you can tell the difference. Okay, I hope you can see it on the dragonflies as well. What do you think? I think I could have made my foreground a little bit darker to blend in a little bit. But I think it's okay. I'm just adding a little bit black to it, just to give it that a little bit more darkness. And that's all the different layers, and you just keep playing with it. There's a spot on here that I don't like, a white spot. There we go. I think that turned out pretty cool. And like I said, you can add a picture of your family by the lake to it. You can put a little clip on there and hang it on here. But I just like Life is Better at the Lake. I just love the outline. And our water, I think, turned out really good with the shimmer. Thank you, ladies. Well, I don't see anybody else. Hey, Miss Bonnie, I didn't even see you. Hello, hello. I'm going to do this. Since I only see 3 of you on here, I am going to put all 3 of you in the Happy Mail bucket as soon as I find my pencil. So, Miss Sherry. Hope you learned something. I hope you enjoyed. I know it took a minute to get there. And see, Cindy, I always forget. C-Y-N-D-I. And Miss Bonnie. So I'm going to put all of you in the Happy Mail bucket. Since you stuck with me for the whole time. Happy first day of summer, and remember, if you are getting anything from the Essential Stencils site that is on sale right now, don't forget to use an ambassador code to get you another 10% off. And I would appreciate it if you would use mine, WK21. That would mean a lot to me. And at the end of June, I don't know, I think the 30th is on a Monday, don't hold me to it, I will draw a name for some Happy Mail. And I am working on a kit to teach you how to do my handmade flowers that I make, the fabric flowers. I'm working on a little kit to get together. That was requested, so I'm working on that one. And it might even involve some of those little vintage wooden spools that you will get in the kit. So be on the lookout for that. That's coming up. And here is our finished project one more time. Thank you for your time. Thank you for being here, for the hearts, for the thumbs up, for the stars, for the sprinkling that out, spreading out the whimsy. I sure appreciate that. You guys have a blessed weekend. I will see you for our Soul-Filled Saturday in the morning at 10:30. And then I will see you back for Creating and Crafting Fun on Monday evening at 7. And both of those are Eastern Standard Time. Be blessed. Have a wonderful day. Keep each other's in your prayers. Encourage one another. Uplift one another. And I will see you soon.